Hey folks, George here from the Spaceman with Guns podcast. I'm going to do a tutorial on applying decals, water slide transfers, decals, however you want to call them. I've had several requests for this, so we're going to go ahead and give it a try. First things first, ignore the sounds of Will and the Grace in the background if you can hear them. It's just, background noise. I like gay comedies, so, I just have it on. There also might be an appearance by a cat. No, it's actually my wife watching Will and Grace. Don't worry, I'm not into that. Okay, first things first. You're going to need your model. So I've got a Outrider biker here. He's actually had a coat of Future floor polish applied, so he's got a nice gloss coat. Anything you're going to put a decal on needs to be gloss coated. Next thing you're going to need is some micro set from Microscale Industries. And then you could also get micro sol. However, this next product, Solvaset, is actually what I prefer. It's basically does the same thing as micro sol. It's just a lot more powerful. Does it better. And since we're going to be trying to get a decal to adhere to a compound surface, it's gonna be a little bit better. Good pair of tweezers. You just need an old paintbrush. And then something to cut your decal out. Obviously, I've got an old scalpel that I use just for decaling. And then, of course, I've got my decal right here, which I've cut off of the Forger Ultramarines decal sheet. You can do some of the best decal sheets. To use these make decaling a lot easier, but you can use the same methods for the decal sheets that come with the Games Workshop kits. Excuse me. I also like to have a surface to work on that's not going to absorb any extra water. So I've got a sheet of plastic card, which I also use to I use it as backing to cut my decals out, so it protects my table and all that goodness. So the other thing you're going to need is some warm water. You want it pretty warm, not hot, but more than just lukewarm, because it's going to help the decal adhesive dissolve better from the backing paper. So we're going to take our decal, we're going to dip it into our water. We're going to do it for about 15 seconds. So you guys are going to sit here while I quietly count, but not really. I just need to make sure that I'm going to get this applied on the right side. I'm trying to do this from behind the camera for the first time, so we'll see how well this works. So take it out and just kind of get the excess water off, and then we'll kind of test and see if our decal's moving around on the backing paper. It is, but not quite enough, so we'll give it another dunk. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shake off the excess water, and then we are moving freely. This is kind of a difficult decal for you guys to see, but principle is pretty much the same. So we'll set that down for a minute and let that extra water kind of work. We're going to open up our micro set now. Take our old paintbrush. We'll kind of get some of that on the brush here. Don't need a lot, but then what we're going to do is we're actually going to just coat this whole area that we're going to be decaling with micro set. Okay. And then we're going to take our decal and do this next part. You can use a finger, you can use your brush, you can use whatever. So we're going to get it, make sure our decal is sliding nicely. Make sure we're not touching any part of the transfer film that's on the decal we want to use. And then we're just going to sort of just slide it off and just kind of make sure it tucks down. Now I kind of folded it over there a little bit, but that's okay. You can usually fix that without too much work. So it's not quite where we want it yet. We're going to apply a little bit more micro set to the area. It's going to help break up that backing film and let that move around a little bit more. And then we'll just kind of, I use my tweezers a lot for this, but you can use other things to kind of get this into its final position where I'm happy with it. And for anyone that's tried to use these Ultramarine symbol decals on a shoulder pad, it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world, but with these steps it'll make it a little bit easier, and it should apply to just about any type of decal you're doing. So got it there, pretty good spot. Pretty happy with that right there. So we're going to go ahead and call that good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my solva set. And this actually has an applicator brush in the bottle, but you could use your old paintbrush for it too. Just kind of wipe off all the excess, and I'm just going to start kind of layering on some of this this solva set, excuse me. And what this is going to do is it's really going to work that decal film, and it's really going to help it lay down nice and flat. It's going to help eliminate any air bubbles or anything. And when you're done, it's going to have that nice painted on look. Now, in the process of drying, what this solva set's going to do, it's actually going to cause the decal, or can, it won't always, but it will occasionally cause that decal to wrinkle up very, very bad. It'll start to look like a raisin. That's perfectly normal. So if that starts to happen, don't freak out. That's normal. It will go away. It will start to lay down and go away. So that's not something you need to be too concerned about. It could react with your clear coat and form sort of this whitish, opaque substance. Again, don't worry about that so much because it will go away once it fully cures, once it fully dries. Give it about 24 hours and then hit it with another gloss coat, because when you're done, you need to give it another gloss coat to help seal that decal in, to help keep it from silvering or anything like that, and to also protect it. So I'm need to do some more decal transfers on this guy, decals, whatever you want to call them. I'm probably going to I need to put the fast attack symbols on there. But it's the exact same process, you know, and it is somewhat, with the splayed out design of the decal, it could present some problems, but using these products and these steps, you should be able to pull that off without any issue. So hope this helps, guys, and good luck.